Hi there. I'm writer Elena Passarello, and this is Open Book, a literary podcast from Livewire Radio brought to you by Powell's Books, where we talk to writers about their reading habits. When I'm not having fun being Livewire's announcer, writing is my job. I'm the author of 2 books, and I'm currently in a wrestling match with my 3rd project, and yes, it is threatening to body slam me right now. I also teach writing here in Oregon, and I'm on the board of an international conference that meets every few years to argue about nonfiction. All this is to say that books are, without exaggeration, my whole life. When I work out, I don't even use dumbbells for my bicep curls. I use Russian novels. This week on Open Book, I'm talking to writer Sloane Crosley. She's the author of the novels Cult Classic and The Clasp, but she's also known for her humorous essays, which have been published in 3 collections, including I Was Told There'd Be Cake and How'd You Get This Number? I sat down with Sloane when Open Book was in its pilot phase back in 2024. So shout out to Sloane for being our test subject. At the time of our conversation, Sloane was promoting her book, Grief is for People, which is an awesome memoir where she explores loss and grief after the burglary of her apartment and the death of a close friend. In our conversation, we talk about giving yourself permission to stop reading a book that you're just not that into. We talk about writers ranging from Virginia Woolf to Lee Child. And we also discuss that rare occasion when a film adaptation is actually better than the original book. Have a listen. This is Sloane Crosley on Open Book. Hi, Sloane. I'm so excited to be talking to you.
Laughing already. I am so excited to be talking to you too, as well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. Here's what I really want to know. How would you describe yourself as a reader? Are you a regimented reader? Are you an emotional reader? How would you describe yourself?
Oh, wow. Definitely craving-based. I don't do things because I think I should. I've learned finally to quit books. I used to pride myself on this when I was in my early 20s, that I'd never walked out of a movie and I'd never left a book unfinished. And I don't know where I got that as a source of pride. Like, it's not. So I do that, but I'm pretty regular because I do a lot of book reviewing. So, and I worked in publicity for so long, in book publicity, so I'm sort of used to just chain smoking them.
Is there a time of day, or is it because it's your job, you're kind of doing it all day long?
All day long. Every once in a while, the only thing that is a sort of marker of difference is if I wake up and go back to a book. That is super rare. The second your eyes meet consciousness that you have to know what happens, that's pretty rare.
That's how you know a book is good.
I mean, but if that was the only measurement, there would be 2 books.
Right.
I don't even know what they are, but you know what I mean.
Well, what in general, what kind of books do you find yourself looking for if you want to do something non-professional, something comfortable?
I feel weird naming the authors because it's going to make them sound like guilty pleasures, but they're actually they're quite serious authors. Like, I love Emily St. John Mandel. I love Lauren Groff. I don't have a thing where I secretly read romance or mystery, although I edited, that's a hard word to say for what it means and what I do. I edited an anthology that had Lee Child in it. And so I got kind of addicted to his books. And they're comfort food.
Does your reading change when you're in the throes of a writing project?
Yes, I tend to I sort of go against the grain. So if I'm working on nonfiction, I'll read fiction and vice versa.
Do you remember what you read when you were putting together Grief is for People?
Wow, what did I read? Oh, yeah. No, I read basically all of Virginia Woolf, which is not exactly going against the grain, considering the fact that the book is about the suicide of my close friend. So I don't know. But I thought, To the Lighthouse, a romp.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it, yeah.
Well, your book, you handle it with like a kind of a humor and a levity. So it's interesting. The wolf is sort of she's not known for her levity.
I think that's it. Yeah, I don't read, but if you ask other authors this question too, I'm like, you should have other people answer these questions. But if you ask David Sedaris what he's reading 9 times out of 10, it's either about taxidermy or like the Holocaust. It's just the farthest thing you could possibly think from sort of antics and etiquette and cute little stories.
Right. You want to exercise a muscle that isn't the muscle that you're kind of showing up for every day as a writer.
Well, you also don't want to copy people. You want to find that line between inspiration and just, copying people.
Speaking of copying, well, this isn't really copying, but adapting. Is there a film or a television adaptation of a book that you think was really well done?
Oh, I got so excited because I was like, I thought you were going to ask me if one of my books was being adapted.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you now. I don't know if you know this, but Greta Gerwig is very interested.
Is she? Oh, wonderful. Good news.
Yeah.
Is there an adaptation? I just saw Zone of Interest, which is only because Martin Amis, may he rest in peace, is better than the book.
You would only say that now that we know that.
Only now that he's dead and not listening to this podcast, which we all know he would do nonstop. It's one of those things where he would open his eyes in the morning and turn on the podcast. I mean, that's so fresh in my head because I just saw it a couple weeks ago. And it was just, I thought it was, everything that, it's unfortunate that we've already wasted all the words like haunting and beautiful on so many things that aren't really that haunting and don't stick with you and are just sort of pretty.
Yeah.
But this really is those things.
Yeah, like you are haunted by that
I
film.
was haunted. I couldn't stop thinking about it.
And that's the highest praise I think you can give is when an adaptation is actually better than the book. Godfather.
Yes. Or just, I mean, actually, Station 11, I thought the adaptation of that was good.
Station 11 was spectacular. I feel like it got a little swallowed and, my God.
It did get a little swallowed. The other day, there's a scene, for those of you who have not read it, I won't spoil it, but there's a sort of a reunion between two characters, and it's pretty pivotal, and I intentionally watched it the other night to make myself cry.
Oh, good.
I'm like, you talk about what I'm in the mood for, I'm like, I don't know, I'm just in the mood to make myself cry, so I did that.
Are there books that you read that
will make
you
me cry?
Yeah.
Yes. They're really surprising. I remember the first adult book that ever made me cry was The Chosen by, I'm going to go ahead and really put my back into this, by Chaim Potok. Mm-hmm. It made me bawl my eyes out. It's about two friends. And it's just in this tiny, tight-knit community in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and, this sort of Zionist and anti-Zionist sort of butting heads, and these two boys that are friends, and it has this sort of Romeo and Juliet quality, and it's just beautiful. But I don't remember what about that book really made me cry. I will say there's a short story that became A Home at the End of the World, which is White Angel by Michael Cunningham. Mm. And the last line of that story, I'm not even going to say now, because one must compose oneself when there are listeners.
One has a microphone in front of one's face. Then one does not want to shed tears on top of it.
All I would have to do is see the last line of that and cry.
I feel that way about a Michael Cunningham novella, the first one in Specimen Days, the one that takes place in Walt Whitman's New York. Yep. And I listened to the audiobook.
He can stick a landing, that guy.
Yeah, he's like I don't know who the only gymnast I can think is that one who barely stuck the landing because her foot was broken. No, Simone Biles. Yeah, he's like a Simone Biles. I listened to Specimen Days. I listened to Alan Cumming.
Yes, that one.
Perfectly read.
Yes.
What's your audiobook diet like?
Oh, my audiobook diet is nil. I just listened to my first. So I have recorded 5 out of 6 of my books. So I just finished recording Grief is for People, which, good for them. They got my voice cracking a few times, I'm sure. Sure, that'll be good. But I did condition out, but I can't take it. I listen to very few audiobooks. I just bought my first one. And I want you to know that during the pandemic, I also read most of Henry Green. When I say it was the Britney Spears audiobook, I wanted to hear Michelle Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Kudos to her acting, but also kudos to whatever voice level she found where it was her, but it was that sort of baby voice Britney thing, and I can't believe she kept it up at this even tone. It's amazing.
It was perfect casting.
Yeah.
I know
did you listen to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I know they just gave the Oscars for casting. They're going to do, casting directors are going to get Oscars now. But when are they going to give casting audio
They give
Oscars?
audiobooks. I've been nominated for a couple of, not Grammys, but Audies or what have you. Mm-hmm. Just to clarify, I don't have the Tony quite yet. But I feel like, I'll never beat Jimmy Carter.
No, he's gone.
They give it to the presidents or Obama
or Hillary Clinton. Yeah. No, it's true.
A distinctive voice doesn't mean you read good.
Yeah. Do you think that's why you don't listen to audiobooks that much, because you have kind of high standards? I think
it's because I don't leave the house that much. I do. I think that it's audiobooks are for people who drive around and jog. And I'm like, well, I don't do either of those things. This is a genuine answer.
So your life before you started writing full-time involved book publicity. Is that the right?
That's the term.
What is it like to transition into being a writer, having been somebody who represented writers for so long? Is there a switch you have to turn off, or
Yeah. It's the people-pleasy switch. It's not the switch you think it is. It's like a little more something that drives, if I may be so earnest, at the heart, the core of the work, which is playing to a crowd. Trying to figure out what people would like.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, you don't have to be a book publicist or have been one to not want to alienate your reader. I think there's no shame in that. And I think people who go out of their way to do that are not necessarily, I'm like, you're not Nabokov. Nabokov? Either way, you're neither of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that desire for people to like you is sort of amplified by the job, and you have to unwind it.
Yeah. Okay, so Grief is for People is a memoir. I don't know if you knew that. FYI.
Sort of not, but yes.
What memoir, and you were talking about Britney Spears' memoir.
Yes.
What memoir has not been written yet that you would rush to read?
Oh, wow. Zadie Smith.
How come?
She's dipped her toe quite successfully. Her toe dipping is everyone else's diving. It's just won awards into narrative nonfiction, into essays, both after the pandemic and Feel Free. And so you get her viewpoint, a slightly closer viewpoint because it's her talking about, the world, the difference between, joy and motherhood and all the things she writes about. But it's still slightly removed. It's still almost researcher-based, and I would like to see more narrative from her.
And also, didn't she train as a jazz singer and just kind of abandoned it to be a writer?
She's an incredibly, incredibly talented singer.
I bet there's some other, like a pilot's license.
Yes. A pilot's license, card tricks.
Yeah.
Watch your wallet around her.
Yeah, well,
stuff like that.
She's a sharp.
That's what I've heard.
I believe. Oh, well, this was great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. And congratulations on the book.
Oh, thank you.
That was Sloane Crosley on Open Book. You can order Sloane's memoir, Grief is for People, at powells.com. Thanks for listening to Open Book. I'm Elena Passarello, your host. Our executive producer is Laura Haddon, and our producer and editor is Melanie Sevchenko. Eben Hoffer is our technical director. Hazik bin Ahmad Farid is our mixer. A. Walker Spring composed our theme song, and Ashley Park is our social media marketer. A big thanks to the entire staff at Livewire Radio, the fine folks at PRX, and of course, Powell's Books for sponsoring this podcast.